Hi guys, my name is James Koorey. I'm 10 years old. I'm a biz kid, a young entrepreneur, and I'm raising $100,000 to help the poor. And today I'm interviewing Teresa Polk. So she is a local artist, potter, and she gives classes. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, I'd love to tell you a little bit about my business, JJ. Actually, it's a studio, a working studio, and what we do here is we make our own pottery, and we have our studio open to other people that are interested in learning the craft.
So what are you making right now?
Well, right now I'm finishing up on a project that I have for a friend. He has a local farm, and I'm making some mugs for him, and the mugs have his name on them, Hooper's Farm in Tremont. And now I'm making some handles for his mugs.
Cool.
I have all the mugs made. They're trimmed. They're over there on the other side of the studio. Now I'm making the handles.
All right. So where are we right now?
We're in Parma, Ohio, 5728 Ridge Road. And we have a website, parmapottery.com. So if somebody's just driving by and they say, hey, there's a pottery shop there, all they have to do is remember Parma Pottery and they'll find our website.
Awesome. Alright, so why did you choose to become a business owner?
Well, if you're an artist and you want to make a living as an artist, you have to sort of make your art into a business.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to become an artist. I wanted to create pottery, and I wanted to be able to sustain my studio with some income by making my pottery and also by teaching my craft. That's why I decided.
So what is your favorite part about owning your business?
Well, my favorite part about owning my business is I'm not just an artist. I have a family, I have a husband, and I have children. They're adults, and I have grandchildren. So owning my own business, I can rearrange my schedule around my family and around our events, and I can create my work during the time that they're not available, so we can spend more time together. That's really the main reason that I like owning my own business. If I worked for someone else, I would have to work during the hours that they tell me to work.
Right. You don't want to be controlled by someone else. You want to be able to
Right. I love being able to say, oh, it's 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday night, and oh, I got a couple hours. I would love to go to the studio and just work on some stuff. Or if I wake up early in the day and I don't have nothing to do, I can do the same thing.
Right.
I come and go as I please.
So how much did you financially invest into starting your business?
Originally, a couple $1,000s, the price of a potter's wheel, the price of down payment for a place to rent,
Right.
and the cost of buying some raw materials from a local supplier, which maybe that was about, I don't know, about $1,000. And then I needed a kiln, so I bought a used kiln for about $1,000. So initially the amount wasn't a lot, but I had to keep the business sustainable, so I offered classes that helped pay the rent and the electricity. So it wasn't a lot to start off with.
Didn't you have to buy tools to work with?
Yeah, well, I already had a lot of tools from my school years doing pottery and ceramics. But the amazing thing about making pottery is you can make your tools out of just ordinary items. Like, I don't have any right now, but as you can see, this is a rib. But you can also use an old wooden spoon from your house.
Right.
Yeah,
It'll work just as fun.
Yes, and we do have stuff like that here. If you come here, you'll see that there's a lot of stuff here that is meant to be used for something else,
Right.
and we acquire it and use it for our
Right.
purpose.
Like I see toothbrushes right over there.
We don't brush our teeth with those, but we use them to make scratch and attach for pottery that we want to put pottery together.
So how long have you owned your business?
Oh gosh, let me think. Hannah is my oldest granddaughter, and she's going to be 18. And I think I started the studio when she was just about 10 or 11 months old. So I don't know, 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about as old as Julia is right now.
She's
my baby sister.
Right.
She's almost a year old.
Oh, right. That's how old Hannah was when I opened up my first studio. 17 years.
So what is your morning routine?
Well, ideally, on Saturdays we have classes in the morning for kids, and so the kids come in around 10 a.m. They're done around noon. So I make sure I have my breakfast before they come, and it's got to be a power breakfast with a lot of protein because I got to run around. Martha and I have to attend to sometimes 7, 8 kids at a time.
Right.
And they're all doing, they're doing 2 or 3 different projects. At noon, then it's all wound up and they leave, and then I take a rest and I clean up the studio. I might have to do some laundry. We use old towels here, so we have a washing machine. We don't have a dryer, so we hang everything up on like a Amish clothes dryer. And then I'll maybe mop up some of the spots on this floor of the studio. And then I just sort of get myself reacclimated to the space. And then everybody takes off, and usually I'm here by myself. On occasion, one of my grandchildren stay, and they work on their own pottery on their own time.
Like me, like what we're doing right now.
Right. And then whatever project I have in the works, I'll just work on that, and I could work anywhere from 1:30 to 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And
right.
That's a Saturday, and that's my ideal Saturday.
So what was the hardest lesson you had to learn on your path to success?
Well, being a self-taught business owner, there are times, I can almost do everything here. If something breaks down, I can fix it, okay? But there are times when I don't have the time to do that. So on occasion, if something needs to be repaired here, I might have to call in another expert that gets it done quicker than I could, because if I'm spending my time working on a job here that has nothing to do with pottery, like say plumbing or repairing the kiln or doing some kind of shelf building, I could do those on my own, but that takes away from my teaching time.
Right.
And if it takes away from my teaching time and takes away from my time to be able to create things to sell, then my income is less.
Right.
So I've had to learn how to balance, okay, what kind of chores and tasks do I need to hire someone out to do, and what kind do I need to just do myself? That was sort of a hard lesson at the beginning.
All right, so if you had to start your business over again, what would you do differently?
JJ, I've thought about that a couple of times, and every time I think, wow, I don't think I could have done it any differently. Because I started off small, and I grew as my business grew. And I feel like, okay, well, I don't have any regrets. I didn't bite off more than I could chew. I just grew as the business grew. And I don't know, what was the question? Do I have any regrets about how I started it? I guess I don't. I don't really have any regrets, because I try to think about what I could have done that could have made it better, and I really can't come up with anything. Maybe.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I feel good about it, but if there was someone else that was looking from the outside and they knew my whole story, they might have a couple of good tidbits for me, but for myself, I haven't found any.
So why do you think 98% of businesses fail?
Is that true? Is it?
It is true.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow, 98% of businesses fail from the get-go, from the beginning, the ones that start out.
Right.
I don't know. I think maybe some of it has to do with customer service. If you don't have something that people want, then you're not going to have anything to sell. It might be a good idea for you. You might think other people want it, but
other people might not want it.
It might not be something other people need. It could be something that you know that other people need, but they don't know it. And if you aren't able to communicate to them that they need it or whatever you have, is going to make their life better, if you can't communicate that to them, that I could see how that could help your business to fail too. The other aspects, now that falls under customer service and the market, what's out there. The other aspects that could cause a business, I think, to fail is biting off a little more than you could chew in the beginning.
Yeah.
If your overhead is too high, if your supplies are too high and you have all kinds of supplies, but you don't have any, you don't have enough market or business to get those supplies worked out and going, whatever it is to make your product. So, and a lot of people, I think a lot of business owners, you just think, well, this only costs so much money. Like maybe your widget you want to sell for $2, and it might only cost you 12 cents per widget, but you got to think about the labor, your time, and your investment. And sometimes people that haven't had a business before, they might put in the cost of their time that's way more than the $2 per widget. That might be an aspect. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why, I would imagine. But biting off a little bit too more that you can chew, and probably customer service, and not knowing what your market is, not knowing if there's a need for what you do in the market.
So, do you have a mentor?
Well, I probably have a couple of mentors. And if you're talking about business, my business mentor, I would say, would be my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
When I was a little girl, my parents opened up their own business. It was really my mom's business. And I could see, wow, this is really cool. She doesn't have to go to work.
Yeah.
She has her own business. She has her own hours.
She had more time to spend with you.
Yeah, her business was near my school. So as soon as my brother and I, we'd get off for lunch. Back then, we didn't have lunch at school. You had to go home for lunch. Yeah. And my mom's business was halfway between our home and the school. So when my mom had her business, it was a shorter time walk for us to get to her. And we would have our lunch there. And then the same thing, we would come back, we would return there after school, and she would wind up her business another hour or so. My brother and I would sit in the back. We did our homework. My mom closed her business at 5 o'clock, and we all went home together. That was the greatest thing. And my mom had money to take home with her. And then she went to the bank. I watched her, add up the money, and I watched how much she had to put out for the bills and how much we got to use as profit. And I thought to myself, wow, that seems like a better way to live than to, go somewhere and punch a time clock and then get only the money that your boss decides you need.
Right.
So
yeah, my mom and dad are a huge mentor too.
Yeah, my mom was a mentor. My mom was my business mentor.
So what is your favorite personal development book?
Well, when you asked me that question, the only book I could think of, and the only one that has influenced me in personal development, of course, well, besides the Bible. Right.
Jesus is everything. You can't do anything without him.
That's right. I think it's called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I think it's by Stephen Covey. That book helped me to understand where to put my priorities. And I don't know if I'm sure people are familiar, a lot of people are familiar with that book. And then later on at my work, where I work now as a part-time job, they offered it as a workshop, and that was even better to have a workshop, and it was worth it.
Yeah.
It just helped me to learn how to put my, the different categories in my life in perspective and what order. And it worked. I don't know, it just made my life much more happier. Yeah.
My favorite personal development book is Keys to Success for Kids by Caleb Maddox.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome. Everyone watching this video, I dare you to buy that book and read it. Alright. Alright, so what is your favorite motivational quote?
My favorite motivational quote?
And it can be just any quote. It doesn't have to be...
Can it be a quote from David in the Old Testament?
Absolutely.
Okay. How about Psalm 27:1, and this is just part of it. And it's, "The Lord is my light and my salvation." And sometimes I sing it. You want to hear me sing it?
Sing it! Sing it for me!
Because sometimes I have to sing it in my mind when I need it.
Do it.
"The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?"
Bravo! Bravo!
Thank you.
So what advice would you give a motivated young entrepreneur such as myself?
Well, advice. As young as you are and as on motivation?
Anything.
Okay. Well, first of all, if you're young, you want to always obey your mom and dad. Okay? And anything under that umbrella, you can do to research, observe, do a lot of observation of other people, observation of how people treat other people, and is that the way you want to be treated? And use the best that you can pick out of everything and try to use that as your motivation to do well for other people and be in service for other people.
Right.
Another motivation would be find out people that are older and already living out their life of being an entrepreneur or self-employed or self-business owner. Find the one that has a lot of joy in their life and try to use, try to use some of the aspects from their life or their motivation to help you out.
Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Teresa, for your time. And you guys go down in the description. I'll have a link for my website and Teresa's website. Where can we find you?
Well, you can find us if you go on, if you get off the Ridge Road exit on 480 in Cleveland and you go south from there on Ridge Road. We're just past Pearl. We're right before Snow. Also, you could find us on the internet. Just put in Parma Pottery. My website is parmapottery.com. You can get my phone number from there, and you can also send me an email if you have any questions.
Right. Same with me. You can send me an email. We can contact each other. Maybe we can get on the phone sometime. I'd love to talk to you guys. Thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I guess I should,
Awkward silent
Psalm
moments.
27:1. "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear?" If we were.
Yeah, dang, too bad you didn't press play.
So, what is your favorite
Are we
personal
rolling now?
development book? Yes.
Okay, stop it.
Bloopers!
Let me